November 3rd, are you optimistic that that will happen? And will that give you a boost in the election?
On the vaccine?
Yeah.
I am. I'm optimistic that it'll be probably around that date. I believe we'll have the vaccine before the end of the year, certainly, but around that date, yes, I think so.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday laid out an aggressive timetable for a coronavirus vaccine, saying it was possible that there could be a safe and effective vaccine around the November 3rd election.
This is going to be the most popular vaccine in the history of the world. Everybody's going to want it, which means we have to actually go through proper tests to make sure it's not detrimental to people. There's nobody who suggested we're going to have a vaccine by the beginning of November.
There's nobody who suggested we're going to have a vaccine by the beginning of November.
Top expert and the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, said results from the late-stage study could be available as early as November.
There's nobody who suggested we're going to have a vaccine by the beginning of November.
Dr. Anthony Fauci said results from the late-stage study could be available as early as November.
Why does the president do this? This is disinformation. This is lying. This isn't misleading. This is straight up lying, and it's damaging.
You are right to be beyond dubious and skeptical and call that the lie that it is, and instead listen to Dr. Fauci, who by and large has been right about this at every turn. And whenever he's been wrong, he's admitted it, he's corrected the record, and he's been governed by the science and the facts and the truth.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
And instead listen to Dr. Fauci, who by and large has been right about this at every turn.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. There should be universal wearing of masks.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says Americans should be wearing masks when they're in public.
I do it when I'm in the public for the reasons that, A, I want to protect myself and protect others, and also because I want to make it be a symbol for people to see that that's the kind of thing you should be doing.
Bottom line, we don't have to worry about this one, right?
But this is not a major threat for the people in the United States, and this is not something that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Ali Velshi here in New York with breaking news coverage.
Velshi, I don't even know who the hell Velshi is, I just remember. Did a little shave job on his head. I was thinking about doing it. I was going to do a little, but I decided against it. I didn't want to go down 25 points in the poll. Ali Velshi.
You know, a lot of people say to me, you must feel good. It kind of gives you a new level of fame. Remember, he's talking to me at Trump rallies. There is not a single attendee at that rally who probably knows who I am or watches MSNBC. I don't love it. I'd just as soon he move on to something else and not talk about it.
You cover this objectively now? I mean, how do you look at that, Ali?
Yeah, so I'm entirely objective from an ideological perspective. Why does the president do this? This is disinformation. This is lying. This isn't misleading. This is straight up lying. We have reported objectively about the things that he has done, and they are bad, and they are dangerous, and they are assaults on democracy, and he is a compulsive liar. Well, as if being ripped away from your family wasn't torture enough, we now know that the Trump administration denied mental health services to the migrant families that it separated at the border.
This comes as we're learning the real story behind this now iconic image. The crying little girl was even turned into a provocative cover by Time magazine. But it turns out she was never separated from her mother.
As if being ripped away from your family wasn't torture enough.
The kid immediately started crying as he set it down. I personally went up to the mother and asked her, "Are you doing okay? Is the kid okay?" And she said, "Yes, she's tired and thirsty."
They were then taken into custody together. Now the White House is slamming those using the image to symbolize the crisis at the border. It's shameful that Dems in the media exploited this photo of a little girl to push their agenda, tweeted White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She was not separated from her mom. The separation here is from the facts.
Services to the migrant families that it separated at the border. Think about that for a minute. You take people away from their families, you put them in cages.
Not one single so-called cage has been constructed by the Trump administration. Not one.
We have reported objectively about the things that he has done, and they are bad, and they are dangerous, and they are assaults on democracy, and he is a compulsive liar.
President Obama separated children. They had child separation.
You put them in cages.
Who built the cages, yeah?
Let's talk about
who built the cages, yeah? Who built the cages, yeah? And who built built the cages, yeah?
And you ain't black.
Who built the cages, yeah?
And you ain't black.
Who built the cages, yeah?
Let's talk about who
built the cages, yeah? Who built the cages, yeah?
We choose truth over facts.
Who built the cages, yeah?
We choose truth over facts.
Who built the cages, yeah?
Let's talk about who
the cages, yeah?